having violated some kind of NDA or what have you. What would be my situation? What would be my, legal position, and so on? This kind of information for each country. Have you thought about doing something like that?
No, I haven't thought about it, but it's a very interesting idea. What we've found in the past in dealing with something that's analogous with sources is that each case tends to be so unique that we can't give someone a book and say, read this and your question will be solved. So I think what you're referring to, before releasing a document, you should come to us and talk to us about the specific situation. And we'll then speak to our lawyers, or we may already know the answer, and we'll come up with a tailored solution just for you. That's what we do with sources. We come up with some tailored way, some of our sources, a tailored way for them to get the information out safely and in a way which will have the maximum political impact. And I think for IT consultants, that should work as well.
This is a similar problem also with the usage of PGP for email encryption, for example. The problem is if you put some information out and you encourage someone to regard that information as paramount or as what is there and that's all you need, and if you read this you understood all you need to take care of, then this has to be 100% complete. There is no possibility of a mistake in there or something missing that somebody hasn't thought of. So we are very careful with putting out guidelines that we advocate as use this and you'll be secure, use this and you'll be safe. All these things are very difficult. And similar, that's why we're not advocating the use of PGP, because too many people have a feeling of false safety when using email encryption, and then there's a mistake, and we would just rather encourage them getting in touch with us and clarifying how we can offer them the dedicated solution they need for their problem. But I understand that doesn't really scale very well for the common public. So
you are constantly talking about what kind of stuff is protected in the US. You have been doing it all evening, and it's great. And I think nobody now believes, and this is the ground truth, and they are safe and all that. But this is about like general guidelines, general ideas. I was just thinking it might be good to have it.
Okay.
Because getting in touch with you may already be too much. It may already be more than I want to do.
I could now say use Tor, and we have an anonymous encrypted chat and these things. But I understand your point, and it's a valid point, and we'll happily think about it. And
we're not at all US focused. I'm an Australian. Daniel is German. We certainly have some US people, but the reason that we mention so much is just such a big body of people, and because of the past 8 years of war, there has been a lot of dissidents from the US that have come forward, and also it's seen as, in terms of its intelligence bureaucracy, as the most aggressive case. So if this is a case you can solve effectively, all the others are to some extent easier. That's actually not true. Places like North Korea are harder. But you can see that this aggressive case can be solved. The European countries are fairly easy. UK is, I mentioned these problems with publishing. But all the publishing problems, this is our problem. And we know how to deal with that. The sourcing problems, that's you got your problem, but we try and make it our problem as much as possible. If you're suggesting that you would like to do some research and find out what the situation is for various whistleblower protection laws in your country, or the classification laws in your country, and who those apply to, do they apply to outside consultants, do they apply to enlisted military, and most importantly, not what the law says, but what actually happens in practice. Because the law is just a piece of paper, and it's what the precedents and communal values and the expectations of society are that defines whether that law becomes more than a piece of paper to individuals in that society. Usually it's just a piece of paper because the real politic constraints are such that it can't be used.
Okay, we already had there are 2 minutes left. I guess if there's one more urgent question or any other questions, we'll be around anyways in the next few days. So thanks for your interest, for coming here tonight, even though it's so late and cold. We brought some T-shirts. Whoever wants to buy one, we'll have a few for sale here or the rest at the tent. I just hope I don't have to drive any of them at home again. So thanks again, and everyone have a first nice evening at HAR.
Sorry?
Prices for the T-shirts, medium, large, extra large, and girl shirts. Sorry. 20 euros.
20 euros. It all goes to a very good cause.
Yes.